Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of what we've been watching. This week it's me and Andrew, and we're just going to be talking about what we've been watching, a few bits of news, and a few other wee bits. So,
Uh,
Andrew, how have you been this week?
Not too bad this week, mate. Just back to the daily grind. And I noticed there you said welcome back to episode 5 of what we've been watching, but we've only just started.
Welcome back to the podcast in general. In
Yeah,
general,
in general.
it's
Okay, yeah.
episode 5, but we all know that we're building a loyal fan base with this, and
Okay.
they're
And
coming every week.
yeah, and I've been waiting with bated breath for this episode, do you think?
After Tinder, they have to be. They want to see if we're like, are we at odds? Have we had any more fights? Are we still here? Or have I replaced you? Or you replaced me?
Yeah, I was going to say that was very one-sided. It does go both ways. And
It does.
as you know, I am seeing other men, so there's
I
always a
mean, I know.
chance.
Obviously, in the divorce, I would get to keep what we've, and you would keep being watching. So we'd have to sort of split it evenly.
Yeah, that's true, yeah, but I'd probably just rename any future podcast to Andrew's podcast.
Mm. The good thing is, Andrew is such a unique name. You could do that.
Yeah, I don't know many Andrews. I think it's a pretty niche name. It's not widely used, so I think I could maybe even copyright it.
But speaking of names, do you have
Hmm.
any names of film and TV that you've been watching this week?
Oh, okay. So yesterday, me and my wife were looking for a film to watch, and we settled on Nobody 2 with Bob Odenkirk.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it just got me thinking about Bob Odenkirk and what a weird career he's had. Starting as I think he was a comedian, wasn't he? And then went into drama with Breaking Bad, did Better Call Saul, and then he's become this really reluctant, unexpected action hero. And it
Yeah.
just, Nobody Two is one of a weird film. Even the first one, it's like a '90s action film. I feel like it shouldn't exist today, almost.
It's in the vein of like a John Wick. It's sort of a reaction to that doing well, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. And yeah. You know what? I like it when someone plays against type and it just works because it's a nice little series. I mean, it's not notable really. I mean, the fight choreography is pretty good, but I just like the fact it knows exactly what it is, doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's just there for pure entertainment. I really enjoyed it actually, and interestingly,
Oh.
she said to me, "I've never seen Nobody One," and I said, "It doesn't matter." I
Yeah.
really, I really don't think there's going to be any connective tissue, or you're going to struggle to follow this film. So, that's what I watched yesterday. But what have you been watching?
So I have I've actually watched quite a lot in the past week.
Okay,
Obviously, I've been keeping up to date with the weekly releases, Slow Horses, Only Murders. I've talked about them in the past too. You know where I stand on those. We'll catch up in a few weeks in detail. But in terms of films I've been watching, I watched a film. I've actually watched this twice. I watched this by myself, and then I watched it with someone over the weekend. It's a film called The History Boys. What a weird film this is.
okay. So it's interesting you've watched it twice. The second watch, was that the one you watched alone or with a friend?
It was with a friend, and it was purely the only reason I watched it twice because I can't lie, I don't see myself rushing to watch this again. But
No.
the only reason is because I was telling her about it. I was telling her about sort of the how it's a bit weird, like the vibe they take to a guy who's essentially a paedophile in the film.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
vibe they
Well,
have about that, it's very weird. But the way I was explaining it to her, I was like, "This is not doing it justice. We're gonna watch this just so you can see how like they just sort of brush it aside, and they say, oh, but he teaches them about life, so he's a okay."
so the History Boys, I don't know much about it, but I know there's a lot of pre-fame alumni in it. You could say
Yeah,
James
you've
Corden, Dominic
James
Cooper.
Corden, Dominic Cooper. You've got a lot of ones. Sacha Dhawan, who played the Master in Doctor Who with Jodie Whittaker. You've got Samuel Anderson, who played Danny Pink in Doctor Who. There's a lot of Doctor Who alumni that would go on
Apparently,
to be in that show. That's what I know them from. You've got Russell Tovey there as well.
okay.
So it's a lot of, young, at this point, young, up and coming British actors. and they're trying to get into Oxford or Cambridge to study history. So, and it follows them having to deal with sort of various teachers and their different techniques of teaching. So you got one guy who's more just trying to like teach them how to enjoy life instead of focusing on like how to get into Oxbridge, one of the two. You have another teacher who's very much like trying to change their way of thinking about stuff to get in. But it takes a weirdly, and I'm not saying this insultingly towards the film, but there is like a weird, it's based on a play by Alan Bennett, and it takes a weirdly gay turn towards the end. I was kind of watching thinking, are these characters all suddenly gay?
It's
Wouldn't
the
have a
vibe.
problem.
I mean, I don't
But
know anything about the film, but that's the feeling I get from just posters, promotional material, and things like that.
Because I'd always heard it referenced, but I'd never watched it. So I stuck it on one time. And my God, it was actually hilarious watching it with someone. Because there was a character who throughout I was saying, oh, he's such a prick. Just, and she kept saying, oh, no, he's sweet. And I was like, just you wait till you get to the end of this. He will say a line and it'll make you go, what? um,
Did you feel
shall I?
vindicated by that?
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
Shall I spoil the line?
yeah, you can spoil the line if you want. I don't think I'm ever going to watch the History Boys, to be honest with you.
Basically, this kid goes on to become a teacher, and he says at the end, and although I don't touch the boys, it's hard not to. And I was like, what the fuck? Where'd that come out of?
Yeah,
It's so out of, it was so out of, I want to say out of nowhere, but in that film, but it's all just so, like, brushed by. Like, nobody calls it out or anything.
No, it's inexcusable, that kind of line, isn't it? This was made mid 2000s to early 2000s, wasn't it? I guess.
Yes, I believe so. But yeah, it's based on a play by Alan Bennett. Wouldn't rush to watch this again, but it's a weird film. Just the sort of attitude towards it, like that thing. I don't think you could have that out today.
No, I mean it sounds like an experimental thing to watch, I guess, just to see how it's a product of its time and why it wouldn't fly now. But
I don't hate it. I just thought it was very strange. It just sort of made me feel a bit like, why is that just being like brushed past?
Yeah. Well,
that was that. Now, alternatively, I will just say we did watch a couple of things over the weekend. And to balance that out, watching that as well as another weird film that I might get to soon, we did also watch The Princess Diaries 1 and 2. Great films. That's all I need to say about Princess Diaries.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to say that. No, they are pretty good. Two's a bit of a drop in quality, in my opinion, but it's nice to see Julie Andrews doing her thing, I guess. She's a delight.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Anne Hathaway's just great in anything.
Oh, what a woman.
Yeah, what a woman. What a woman. I binge watched a series on Netflix called Why Would. Are you familiar with this?
I am not, no.
So
if you describe it, I will figure out what it is. I'll probably have seen bits of it.
It's written by someone, I believe their name is Mae Williams, and I say they because I'm unsure about what exactly they identify as, but in the series she's created, I've already boo-boo, in the series I've created, which is written really well. She was, oh my God, oh, Jesus. They were a comedian who came up in the UK. I think they won a lot of awards at fringe festivals and things like that. And they
sorry, what's their name?
I believe it's Mae Williams, but I could be wrong. I know Mae is definitely the first name. But they wrote a BBC series. It was like a rom-com, but it was a dramatic role, really, a dramatic series. And it was really great. And it's good to see that they've carried on writing and they've created this series, which is about a very prestigious school in Vermont, in a very secluded small town, very small town vibes. And this school essentially is meant to reform children, but it transpires that the school is actually more of a cult and is kind of abusing.
I think I have heard about this.
Yeah, Toni Collette plays the cult / school leader, and she's just great. I mean, Toni Collette is just incredible anyway in anything she's in. But
this is on my watch list.
Yeah, it's really good, mate, and it really surprised me. And you're enjoying it when you literally just binge the whole thing, even though you know you've got to get up for work in the morning, but you just want to see some sort of resolution. I will say that it ends pretty much. It ends a little like Alien Earth in the sense it wraps up, but it doesn't.
Uh,
And it kind of leaves all of the characters at the end of the series in some form of crisis. And with it being a limited series, the vibe I was getting was that it was a one and done. So I hope it isn't.
which
But
is
at the
which is the defining factor of a limited series. It's limited.
well, that's
It's
it.
one and
So,
done.
but the creator has come out and said, of course, she's interested to see what would happen, and it was intentional to leave the characters that way. So, if it was intentional to be a limited series, one and done, and they've just left these characters where they are, that's just mean, you know?
Hmm.
Because
It'd be interesting to see if it does get come back for more. Do they have to announce that before it's say nominated? If it is nominated for anything under limited series, do they have to then announce? Oh no, it is coming back for more. It has to be under regular series. It can't be limited.
well, I don't. I've never known what it actually means. A limited series to me was that in my mind, it was about the amount of episodes in that season. So in my mind, a limited series would be like 3 episodes, 4 episodes. But are you saying it's limited in the
I think
sense like it's going to be
limited
one
is in
season?
this is one, and it's done. I'm trying to think now that I'm trying to think of limited series to use as an example. They've all gone around in my head, but well, if there is something that is Mr. Bates versus the Post Office, did you watch that?
No, that's Rory Kinnear, was it on BBC?
Um, don't ask me actors' names. It was on ITV. Did really
I,
well. It
I,
was about this
I
scandal in the post office. What it was about isn't important, but it is one series. It's not going to come back for more unless it does. If it does, whoops, I'm wrong. But that to me is limited. It was like 4 episodes, hour long. But the fact that it says that this is one series, it's a limited series. It's one.
okay, yeah.
In my mind, that's how it works.
Well, I may have learned something today, but it's very, very good. So Netflix, Why Would, Tony Collette, give it a watch. Also, while we're on the topic of Netflix and what's slapping at the minute, have you at all watched the new and most latest series of Monster, the Ed Gein story?
Bear with me, because before we discuss anything like that, I would just like to say I do have a definition of limited series.
Okay, shoot.
A television program designed to tell a complete, non recurring story within a predetermined fixed number of episodes, with no intention of continuing with subsequent seasons or ongoing storyline.
Okay, so by that definition, Why Would has just left on a major cliffhanger, and maybe it's up to the viewer to
Listen,
imagine what happens.
listen, I didn't say that to help out your understanding of Wayward. I said that because I was right.
No, well, I mean, I'm glad your
Say the
validation.
words.
You were right, and your validation brings me a certain amount of annoyance about the ending of Wywood, which wasn't there before. But okay, all right. Still, it's worth a watch.
Now, you were asking about, before I rudely interrupted with definitions
That's
and
okay.
vindication,
Hmm.
you were asking about Monster, the Ed Gein story, is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Have you seen any?
I have not watched it. I've heard things about it. Like I've heard it's very messed up. To be honest, I feel like it won't be that messed up if I were to check it out. I do know a lot about it again though from various
Yeah.
crime podcasts and stuff. So I'm guessing you have watched it.
It's pretty good. I haven't watched the whole thing. I'm on episode 4. But Charlie Hunman, I never really
And I'm
rated that. Charlie Hunman, Charlie Honeyman. No, Charlie. What is it?
and I'm
Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam. I never really rated that much as an actor, to be honest. I thought he was
hmm
he's quite charismatic. I liked him in Green Street. He's good in Sons of Anarchy, but I never really saw him with that much range. So the
hmm
biggest surprise for the series was I'm watching him, and I think he's pretty good in it. I'm not going to say completely disappears into the role, but he's very believable. I think if you're even a little bit believable as a sort of psychopath, you've earned your stripes. So it's good to see. It's good to see him. There's a lot of good performances. I think the production values. I know Ryan Murphy's probably some sort of executive producer or something
He
somewhere in
is,
the line,
yes.
but
These are all from
they're
him.
all under his. Yeah, I think the production values are always high. My only issue with the series sometimes is that they introduce a lot of fantastical elements and they kind of stretch the truth. And then, the things with these real life cases that are all the grey areas, they decide one way or the other sometimes. And they
Hmm.
just ad lib a lot. And I think for me, if something's factual, don't stray too far from the truth that it becomes unbelievable. But then again,
Yeah,
I get that it's TV and I get that you will embellish and it's got to be entertaining. So it's a fine line to
I think he
um
has
to
got a lot of
tread.
flack for that. With
Yeah.
at least one of these shows, I think there was a lot of flack towards Murphy.
Well, the previous one, the Mendez brothers, I believe, there was a lot
Yeah, that
of
was it.
inferences and claims of abuse and kind of victimizing the perpetrators to the point that they almost got an appeal and things in court based on a TV show, and I think that's a bit insane. Like at the end of the day, these things did happen and they should be treated with a bit more. Um, I don't want to say respect. That's not the word, but I think there were real life sort of events that have happened, and you kind of have to just remember to a certain degree. But I like it, and I will say the one thing I like about the show as well is they've kind of interwoven the making of Psycho and the psychology that the characters had to sort of resonate with the true story of Ed Gein because Hitchcock did a lot of research and
Yeah,
based Norman Bates on that character, so it's kind of nice the way they're kind of into splicing the making of that film, shots from that film with the real life things going on with the Ed Gein story. But as I say, I'm only episode 4 in, but I would definitely say it's worth a watch if you like the previous series or you're into true crime. Charlie Hunnam is doing his best, and I'm enjoying it so far.
I will check that out. But quick pop quiz for you. As well
Mhm.
as Psycho, what other two major films did Ed Gein have some influence from? In?
So the first one would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I was told the other one the other day because if I mean I'm gonna try and think about the answer, but you wouldn't necessarily think about it, would you? I guess, or do you think it should come to mind pretty organically?
Well, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I'm like, I think I did hear that once somewhere. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yeah, that's right. The other one, I believe, would you like me to say what I
You
think?
can say because I'm drawing a blank.
So I think it's Silence of the Lambs, isn't it?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. So those three, so Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, and Texas Chainsaw, all in some way have based bits of it on Ed Gein and things he
And
did.
how incredible is that we wouldn't have these genre defining films if it wasn't for a real life serial killer. It's mad, really, isn't it?
Art imitates life, or life imitates art. One of the two.
Could I couldn't have said it better myself.
Neither could I. That's why I stole that from someone else. But they're not getting
Well,
credit.
what else have you been watching, Nathaniel?
So I also this week it came out. I watched a TV show called Film Club
Mm.
on it's on BBC iPlayer, so it's releasing weekly on BBC One, and it is currently you can stream all 6 episodes on BBC iPlayer. It stars Amy Lou Wood from Sex Education and The White Lotus season 3, I believe she was in. Do you know of her?
Um, Not off the top of my head, no. I never
But
watched Sex Education.
no, she's good. I like her. Basically, she wrote and created this as well. It's the first thing she's written and created. It's about this woman who had like a mental breakdown prior to the show beginning. So she now doesn't leave the house. She's moved back home with her mom and sister, and she doesn't leave the house at all. Agoraphobic. Um, and every Friday she has this film club in the garage, which she had done in uni. So she started this in uni with a load of uni mates. At this point, it's really down to her and one of her best friends, Noah. So they're sort of like the slow burn love story in it. It's very good. So they get together each week, and it's sort of and it goes into sort of how she uses those films to get through life and stuff. It focuses on them. It's full of various sort of them saying various lines of films, recreating scenes, just dressing up as various bits from the film. The first movie they watch in episode one is Alien.
Oh.
It's their third time watching it for the club.
Uh-huh.
They also watch The Wizard of Oz, which is a great film. And I'm trying to think of the other ones they watch, because I did watch all 6 episodes, just binged it, because it's half an hour an episode, so it wasn't like a big thing to get through. But it was I really enjoyed it. Um, the romance aspect of it, I was a bit like, this could be done a bit better, maybe, because I think the male lead, whose name I'm not sure of at the moment, he was playing it very sort of subdued. Like there wasn't much, which I think was the point of the character, and that he wasn't like big expressive or anything. Amy Lou Wood was very good. It must be great whenever you write and create something when you're just like, I'm putting myself in this. This is me. I'm doing this.
Well, that
Because
was
you're
much
then
with.
the
Well, I was going to say that was much with Wywood. So the creator was very much the main character, also.
it must be great because the director can never argue anything. He'll just be like, you want fired.
Yeah,
You're in
almost.
charge.
Yeah, you
But
are
that's film.
you are directing, but I'm also directing
You're
you.
directing, but who's bank transferring you to pay for this? Because that's how film works. You just bank transfer.
Oh, is that, yeah,
No
okay?
contracts. Yeah, that's it, Paul. It's very, very cutting edge.
I'm glad you have all the inside knowledge because
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming everything wrong apparently.
But that's Film Club. It came out on the I want to say the 8th of October. So I watched all 6 episodes of that. Really enjoyed it. Hope it does come back for another season. Don't think it's a limited series. At least it's not being promoted as one. I don't think. Um, there was another show on BBC iPlayer that I watched as well, which was. Have you ever heard of Blue Lights?
Yes, it is set in Ireland, isn't it? No, or
Aye.
Scotland? Oh, it's Ireland.
It's in the north of Ireland / Northern Ireland, depending on which
Okay,
side you fall on.
okay, and it's from the creators of Line of Duty. Is that correct? Same sort of
Nope.
creator. No, really.
No. It's from two lads from here. I think it's two lads. I'm just gonna double check that. But it follows sort of the ongoing day to day life of the police in Northern Ireland.
I've heard good things about it. I've never watched it myself, but my missus is constantly telling me she. Is it season 2? It is, isn't it? She watched
Season
season.
3 came out.
Okay, so I think she binged them a while ago, and she said season 3's out. We need to watch it. I says I've never seen the first 2 seasons, and we had a massive argument because she was that convinced that I'd watched it with her. She just couldn't get her head around the fact, and I was getting frustrated because it's like I know I absolutely know I haven't watched these. It was getting to the point that I almost caved and said, okay, let's watch season 3. And I would have spent the entire season 3 going, who's that? And she would have gone, don't you remember? And I would have just had to pretend that I'd just forgot 2 whole seasons of TV just to placate.
Well, if you want to watch it, basically just imagine about 6 or 7 versions of me talking. There you go.
I might give it a
Um,
miss. I might give it a wide berth, I
yeah.
think. Yeah.
In terms of the show itself, so season 3 came out. Again, they dropped it all on iPlayer as well as Iron Weekly. So season 1 and 2, I
Sorry. Excuse me, we're leaving this in. This is all gold.
I think I think we definitely should. So season 1 and 2, I watched that. They were both out by the time I was finishing uni, so I watched them towards the end. I think it was. Oh, I actually watched those. Well, started watching the show the day after we submitted our final assignment
Mm.
because I watched it on the plane back to Birmingham. They were good. Season 1 was really good. Season 2, I felt was a bit of a step down. Season 3 kind of continues in my mind, on the same level as season two, maybe slightly improved. To me, season one was they had this great idea. It was nice, really well told, and it's sort of diminishing returns the longer it goes.
Mhm.
And with that does come, because they do have they get a lot of Northern Irish comedians, which there are quite a lot of. They get a lot of them in the show. Which, okay, fair enough. You want to support local talent, but they can't act. And when
Yeah.
I see them, I'm just like, well, that's just them. Like I know that. Well, I don't know them. They probably do just live down the road, to be fair. But it does sort of take me out a bit when I'm watching it. I'm like, you've only put them in because you were on their podcast. I'm definitely putting them off coming on this one. Um, but that's Blue Lights. I did enjoy season three. I would definitely check it out because you do enjoy like a police drama, don't
I
you?
like a police procedural, yeah, but I don't know. I just think it's so saturated with them. It needs to be a bit individual, I suppose. I've never watched one based in Northern Ireland, so that could be something different
I
for
was
me.
going to say, I think that is what makes this one a bit different for the wider audience,
Have you
is
ever
that
heard
it
of
is,
it's set exclusively kind of in Northern
yeah,
Ireland?
it's set, set here. It's not, London or anything like that.
Yeah, it's
It's all
probably worth a
here.
watch, mate. Um,
You'll get to see some places and you can send me pictures of them going, have you been here? And I'll go, maybe. It's all fields.
is it just going to
Until
be?
they get to until they get to Belfast and I'm like, I've been there, that's City Hall.
I'd like to go to Belfast actually, and it's always very cheap with Ryanair. So I'll put my money where my mouth is one day.
Yeah, we can record a live episode.
Oh my god,
Um
no way!
I'll send you an itinerary of what you can do in Belfast.
Before you go on to the next thing, I'd like to do that by the way. But also, have you ever seen a
Hmm.
show called Shetland? It went for a very long time on the BBC.
I I haven't seen it, but I have heard. That's Scotland, isn't it?
Well, kind of, but the Shetland Isles, so there's very few people. And what I liked about that is I feel like it was a response to all of the Scandi kind of Nordic crime wave that we had and all these really bleak shows coming. So I think Shetland was like the British response to it. And it always made me laugh because so much happened on this tiny island, despite the fact there was like 4 people living on it.
That's like all those shows,
But I just loved how slow it was. I know that sounds really bad, but you're in a very nice location. You don't mind the long sweeping shots
I
and long silences because it just adds to the whole feel of it. But that's a pretty good show.
when you get your gritty detective staring out into the middle distance, giving it all, how do I solve this case?
I love it.
Never been this
Even
stumped.
Kenneth Branagh's Wallander. I know it's the Swedes will sort of say the original's better, but I love the English Wallander series. I think they're great. And same sort of vibe as well.
Hmm.
Hmm.
There is something nice about a procedural show because they're very formatic. They're very formulaic. So
What did
you
you think
can.
of what did you think of Luther?
So Luther's one of those ones that I have seen the pilot of. I never continued watching. I did enjoy the pilot from what I can remember, but I think I maybe watched it during uni and then got busy with other bits and bobs because,
Yeah.
as you know, there's always something to be doing. So
I
I will check it out, but there's
yeah,
so
I
much
mean
to watch.
I really liked it. I'll just say that I think it hasn't aged the best. And the Netflix original Luther film, which was a direct sequel to the series, was
I completely forgot about that.
exactly well, The Fallen Son. I don't think anybody watched it, but it was a considerable drop in quality. And the way it ended, I'm just going to go spoilers. I don't think it matters right now. If you haven't watched it by now, you probably don't want to, or you just don't care. But it basically ends with him being recruited by the MI6. So it's a bit like Idris Elba, hello. We know you're never going to become Bond, but that's okay because you're Luther. So welcome. You're gonna be a spy. It was just a very weird thing to tack on at the end, and it just made me think: is this to build on something? Because is
Well,
there
that
appetite for
explains his
this?
cameo. That explains his cameo in Slow Horses this week.
Oh, is he? Does he appear in there? Does he?
No,
Oh, he's.
made that
Oh
up.
God!
Thought it
Imagine
was
that.
funny.
A Luther
This
Slow Horses
weirdly
cameo.
interconnected
Yeah.
universe of a BBC Apple crossover.
That'd be bizarre,
Um,
wouldn't it?
I maybe will check out Luther, but there's so much stuff to be watching now that see going back and watching something a few years
Oh
ago.
no, no, no! It was just because we were talking
It's
about
no, of
procedurals,
course.
and that was one of the ones that did stick out for me. To be honest, yeah.
Hmm. Now with that, I know we've each spoken about stuff that the other hasn't seen. I
Mm-hmm.
do feel like there's something that we have both seen this week that we may have some thoughts on, and that is Peacemaker Season 2, The Continued Adventure of the 11th Street Kids.
Yeah. Too short, man. Too short
Make
again.
longer episodes.
Yeah. What the fuck? Excuse my language, but
That
just why? And some I read a report, or I even maybe even seen it in a little video that this was meant to be a very long episode, including credits, and um,
so I think this episode was basically the second half of last week's, but they literally just cut it in the edit because it starts with the exact same frame and continuing the shot of last week's episode, episode 6. So literally, if you watch them as one, they flow as one.
yeah,
But
I agree.
someone came in and decided, chop, here's 2 half hours. This could have been, by the end of this, 5 episodes max this season should have been.
Oh, absolutely. And
Um,
I think it would have appeared more entertaining as well because I'm still we've got the finale right tomorrow.
mhm.
Still don't think anything's happened.
Do you mean the
Things have
finale that
happened.
will be Argus opening doors and us seeing some things, them closing a door, opening another one, where there might be something funny happening, or them going, huh, not this one, close.
Yeah, probably.
Which will be that.
And probably his brother's gonna come back and they're gonna have a bit of a fight. But it's just, I mean, it, what
I don't think his brother's coming back. I think we're done with that universe for right
really
now.
because
Until
okay
Rick Flag realizes there's a Rick Flag Jr. there, who just
oh
kind of
yeah.
got dropped. He was in one episode and then they
Well,
never had him back.
they'll use him again. There's no way they're bringing Joel Shinneman back for like half an episode.
I don't think
They'll
he's that big an actor that bringing him back for one episode would be that much of a shock.
I don't know. Well, I've obviously got a fondness for Joel Shinneman. That
Yeah.
you don't share, but yeah, I think they've kept his brother alive in that universe just for a big if, I guess. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
they need a random point of contention at some point in the future, they can just have his brother
Oh,
show up.
yeah. They can have him, Harcourt 2, and someone else from that universe. But overall, too short the episode was. But what did you think of the actual episode itself? Like what
Uh,
it was
um,
doing?
uh, well, look, based on the episodes we've had prior to it, I enjoyed it because there was a lot, there was action to somewhat
Yeah.
for the first time. I didn't like, although it was funny, this revelation that his dad in this he wasn't really a racist or a bigot. He was just living in the system that
He
they
was
now
just
lived in.
complicit in it.
Yeah, he just and he was probably a good guy, just in a bad situation. And then
I the only reason I think they've done that is so that Harcourt and economists can both sort of realize they're basically doing the same thing. They've just always been a part of systems that don't work and they've just always followed orders. So
and
they're
that
always
you
complicit in the shit that's
yeah,
going on,
and that you don't need
which
to
makes
be.
them just as bad.
Yeah.
Because you have on that earth where Peacemaker's dad is quote unquote good, he's not. Because you've got Vigilante, who's part of the Sons of Liberty, which I
Mm,
wish we had seen them actually, because they get talked about, but we don't see them.
yeah.
So he's actually doing stuff. And then you have his dad, who has raised 2 Nazi sons. Like, surely you would have raised your kids not to be that way.
Yeah, he could have. I mean, he had the technical ability and the technology if he really wanted to fight the
Mm-hmm.
regime and maybe even best it somewhat. But he just probably thought, for an easy life, I'm just going to go along to get along, kind of thing.
Yeah.
What did you think of? Spoiler alert here. I mean, this is way too alert, way too late to
We
say
gave a
this. But
spoiler warning last week, so Peacemaker
yeah,
is always spoilers.
okay. What did you like the fact his death was like? I mean, it was for laughs, wasn't it? You know, he's
I
doing
thought
this
it was great.
speech. Yeah, I
I
thought I
absolutely
liked it.
love. You
That's,
see the visor show pop up in the
yeah,
dark, and you just see John Cena's face drop.
yeah,
And the next thing, it's crashed through the window, stab, and I got that's brilliant because
yeah,
he
I
just
liked
knew
it.
as soon as he seen Vigilante, shit's gonna go down.
I thought it was
Um,
funny.
Speaking of John Cena, there, I just want to say,
Mm.
fantastic acting.
I was about to bring that up. You know, when he screams,
Oh, that there, I was like, oh Jesus, I didn't know John had it in him.
and I mean, just imagine he's already dealt with the trauma of killing his dad, but now he's not only seen his dad get killed after he's found, presumably in his mind at least, a good one for the first time in his life. He's also watching his brother get beaten up.
Hmm
I mean, he's going
I
through some.
actually, I think it's such great character work for this season because you go from in the episode one, he's quite sure he wants to be seen as a hero. He's trying to get in with the Justice Gang. To now leading into the finale, he kind of just thinks he's a piece of shit. Like he
Yeah,
just hands himself over to Argus, tells the rest of them not to do anything, and that's him.
yeah,
That's great character work for him to just sort of accept in a way. Oh, life is shit. I don't help it. There we go.
yeah, and it's because before even you could even argue that he believed that if he did things with the best intentions, it might turn around, despite what he's done, because he was always remorseful, I think, about Rick Flag, but maybe being presented with his father and, you know, even
Mm-hmm.
seeing an alternate version of him again and things like that. And of course, learning about Rick Flag's history with hardcore as well. Um,
Harcourt. Sorry,
yeah,
just
yeah,
hardcore is not the name.
Harcourt.
Harcourt, not
Har
hardcore.
well, she's always going to be hardcore to me. I'm not going to change it now.
That's James Gunn's wife you're talking about now.
I always remember her from American Pie Beta House, I think it was. No, she's in American Pie: The Book of Love, and I remember because as a teen, I mean, I may have been almost verging on an adult there,
This
but
was yesterday. Just admit
yeah,
this happened
yeah, it was
yesterday.
just yesterday. I was enamored by her, and I was very attracted to her,
Mm,
and then
I
and
wonder
that,
why.
yeah, well, who knows? But then for her to pop up in this, I was like, well, it wasn't. This was her first appearance, wasn't it, in the DCU?
She actually she was in the Suicide Squad,
Ah,
and
that's
then
it.
they had her pop up in like post credit scenes in like Shazam 2 and Black Adam, I think.
Yeah,
But that's definitely not canon. Those ones are not.
Shazam. Not Shazam 2, but Shazam. Very good film. I
Oh,
really
I
like
didn't
that.
like it.
Okay. No, me either. Me either. Anyway, yeah, no, it was a test, and you passed. Well done. It's a secret Shazam test.
Yeah. Um. So yes, that's Peacemaker season 2, episode 7. I think, to be honest, by the end of it, I was like, if it was going to come back for a third season, which apparently there's no plans for right now, that would have been the ending. Him coming back and just handing himself in.
Yeah, I'm not clamoring for a third season. I don't know.
No,
I would
neither am
like
I.
I would like him to be involved in the DCU in some capacity, but if I never saw the 11th Street kids again, I wouldn't really care, with the
I
exception
have a feeling
of maybe hardcore. Is that right?
hardcore T at
Hard
the end. T at the end, but
hardcore. Yeah, because we'll see them in some capacity, especially if we.
well,
Well, I don't know.
James Gunn has said it won't be Peacemaker season 3, but you will sort of understand where the 11th Street kids are going by the end of this. If I had to guess, they did announce an Amanda Waller show, so
Yeah, yeah, probably
it
back
would
back
make,
under her.
or they'll be in Superman 2, which also, if this is going to set it up, which apparently it does, apparently the finale of this season, so episode 8, was
Uh,
one of the big things that James Gunn pitched when he was sort of given his overall plan
yeah.
for where this universe is going. So if I had to guess, whoever made this dimensional thing, because they do make a point of saying it's more stable than Lex Luthor's.
Huh.
and obviously it wasn't Peacemaker's dad. You do see the alien at the start
Yeah.
of an episode where you got that, so it's probably gonna be Brainiac, and then
Oh,
Superman, Man of Tomorrow, will be Brainiac is here. Superman can't stop him alone. What do we need to do? We got Lex Luthor here. That's Lex Luthor gets out of jail, and then eventually he'll run for president. And that's my prediction for where Lex Luthor's going.
okay. Well, we'll have to wait and see. In the
Mm-hmm.
Man of Tomorrow
The Man of Tomorrow.
today, except it's not.
So it's like an advert you get for like bread or something.
Yeah. Is it?
I don't know. Isn't there one
the
like
the bread of tomorrow?
nah, there's a specific brand, I wanna say. Is it Brennan's or something? Where it's like oh, I can't remember the tagline, but there's
That's an Irish brand, that is. I've never heard of that brand.
yeah, it probably is. Um but that's Peacemaker. I'm looking forward to just getting the season done. Maybe if I
Yeah,
go
me
back
too.
and watch it as a whole, I'll appreciate it more. But to me, not a lot has happened this
Nah.
season. And also, I have been
Disappointing.
meaning to ask you of the two openings, so season one's opening with Wigwams, Do You Want to Taste It? And season two's opening with Oh Lord,
Hmm.
which opening do you prefer?
I prefer season ones, although I didn't dislike season twos as much as everybody
Mm-hmm.
else seemed to, and it's grown with me as I've
I
watched it.
have I've warmed to season two's intro. I wasn't a big fan when it first came on, but I
No,
have warmed to it. My only issue with it is when you're doing such short episodes, that intro's too long.
I agree.
Yeah. But also, good song choice. That's one thing James Gunn never misses on. Needle drops. He's fantastic at them.
No, but he needs to do better just at everything else, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
you
well,
know, I'm a James Gunn pessimist. Let's say he's
in
okay,
my
but
opinion, in my opinion, although the gun might not always hit dead target, dead center, the gun never misses.
yeah. Well, I think they should have handed all creative control to of the DCU to Paul W.S. Anderson, and
Yeah,
he would have really fixed it. I think.
100%. Because I know last week in film Tinder, you swiped left on Event Horizon, but if I had just given you directors for Tinder, Paul W.S. Anderson would have been right swipe. He would have been all
Oh,
time pick, right?
oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, I mean he's great. You know, you've only got to watch any of the Resident Evil films, and that's how to make a film, in my opinion.
And
That's it.
you just know he'd treat you right.
I think so.
Yeah,
Although
he's not cheap at all.
he's married to that bitch Milla Jovovich. So, and um, just for transparency, I've got no issue with Milla Jovovich. Um, she, yeah, I'm just jealous. That's all. I got catty, but she's good. Is she? Yeah, she's all right. I'm just
Yeah,
speaking to
it's not
myself
bad.
here. Yeah, she's fine.
So that's
Well, before you carry on, she's a typical example of a good actress just in awful projects, mainly
mm,
directed by a husband. Okay, we can move on.
yeah. That will be a whole separate episode. I think just you letting this beef out, getting this beef online.
I think so. We actually,
Mela, just so you know, if you ever listen to this podcast, what we've been watching, share with everyone, please. Um, there's beef on site if you ever meet Andrew.
yeah, there is beef on site, and in the
Roast.
comment section below, if you'd like us to do an episode where we rank the Resident Evil franchise exclusively, the Milla Jovovich one, from worst to best, let us know because I
Am I
might
gonna
be.
have to watch these now if people say they want us to do
Yes,
it?
you
How
absolutely will
many
have to
people
watch them.
need to say they want us to do it? Should we put a poll in?
Yeah, let's put a poll in. Well, you know, considering the viewership hasn't really exploded yet, if as
Two.
little if as little as 2 people say Resident Evil ranking, we'll do that for you.
This is the episode that's gonna blow up.
yeah. Yeah.
So that's that's Peacemaker. I feel like I've been trying to get out of Peacemaker for a while. Um, is there anything else that you've been watching that you'd like to talk about,
Um,
or would you like some news?
I'd like some news. I think
Okay. So Andrew, you're from Birmingham, is that correct?
that is correct. Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to ask for your full address. I'm going to dox you. But last week, it was announced that Peaky Blinders would be continuing
Mm-hmm.
after the Peaky Blinders film comes out, which I feel like has been coming out forever and ever and ever.
Yep.
But that's a side note. It will follow the next generation of the Shelbys, and it's been confirmed for 2 6-episode seasons
Okay.
being produced by Netflix and BBC. Are you excited for that?
Well, this is new. It's news to me. I'm not excited about it. I stopped watching the last. I think last 3 seasons of Peaky Blinders I didn't watch. I thought the first two, maybe even season 3, was a classic. But for me, I think I would have enjoyed Peaky Blinders more if it was a limited series and ended with the first one. I don't know why, but I think the
Mm-hmm.
longer it went, the less interested I got. With the exception of the film, that did pique my interest just because you hear a film is being made and it's no longer a series. For some reason, it at least appears to be something fresh and new. So I'm excited about the film, and I'd like that to have been the close.
Mm-hmm.
So
The only thing
no.
that would have made that film better is if they had of, but apparently there was creative differences, and Paul W.S. Anderson couldn't do it.
Oh Jesus! Well, I didn't know that actually. I will say this: is Stephen Knight involved in the series as well?
Yeah, yeah,
He is.
he is.
Okay, well, he's a very competent writer and um creative. So I think it'll probably be good. It'll get good reviews probably, and it'll probably justify its existence. A lot of people will watch it. I wonder if it'll come out. So you say it's co-produced between Netflix and the BBC.
Yeah, that's yeah. So
I
it'll
wonder,
probably be where it's Netflix around the world and it's
and
BBC here
yeah,
in the UK.
I'm not excited for it, but things could change after I watch the film, and maybe after the
Yeah.
film comes out, I might have more of an appetite for it. But I didn't know that,
Mhm.
so that's interesting to me.
Yeah. Killian Murphy is executive producer on it as well, so I'm not sure he'll be in it. Um, because obviously it is the next generation, so he'll probably be dead.
Sorry, are you on about Thomas Shelby or Killian Murphy?
Both.
Okay, well, I don't know. It's only I think he's
Have
got
you
a
seen
few
that
years.
man? Someone needs to get Killian a sandwich.
Yeah, yeah. Well, um, did you? Well, I wonder if Peaky Blinders the movie is going to get a theatrical release. I reckon it's going to go
I
straight to
think it
Netflix.
is.
I bloody hope so, and I don't want it to be like a limited release where it's in 5 cinemas across the UK for 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's
Yeah.
straight. I think it deserves at least a few weeks in the cinema before it goes to streaming, in my opinion.
No, yeah, I'd agree. My thoughts on Peaky Blinders coming back. Don't care. I've tried to watch that show so many times. I think visually it's gorgeous, but I
Yep.
just could not get invested in the show. So it means nothing to me. I purely put it on because I thought you were a Brummie. Let's talk about something based in Birmingham.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for that.
Maybe they'll have some babies
Maybe there'll be some babies in there, yeah.
and a few
Oh,
shudders.
a few shudders. Oh, I know we're on news, but we're going to go back to what we've been watching real quick. There's been 2 Ozzy Osbourne documentaries released recently. One on Amazon Prime, which by all accounts, sorry, yeah, it is Amazon Prime. Is very very good, and I watched the BBC one, which was okay, but I cried, made me cry. So R.I.P. Ozzy from Birmingham. Continue
I've
with the
never been a
news.
big Aussie fan.
I'm not a fan of his music. But I'm a fan of. I liked the family and stuff, and to some degrees, and I just love how he's just never changed. He's always stayed true to his roots.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
So the next bit of news I wanted to talk about was the new Predator film, which I believe is called Predator Badlands, isn't it?
it is. Yes, from
So they release.
Dan Trachtenberg, I believe.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. I
Yeah,
have
I'm
no
right.
reason to.
I'm right.
Yeah. Okay. You just really wanted to get a word right this episode after hardcore. Um, so this Predator, there was a final trailer released, but also they have confirmed the age rating for this Predator, at least in the United States,
Ooh,
and it's the first Predator film to be rated PG-13.
Okay.
Now, it will still be violent, apparently, because did you know this? You can be as violent as you like if it's robots or alien blood. So if
Yeah.
it's not happening to a human and it's not real blood,
Uh,
so it will still be bloody. It just might be green blood.
yeah, that's okay. I knew that about aliens. I don't know. I didn't. It makes sense. It's robots as well, but I didn't know that was
Yeah.
a specific. Okay, well that's great because it's a very tactful decision because as we know,
Hmm.
going off the trailers, last trailer by the way looked really good. Um, I just worry. Um, I don't know. I'm worried because Prey stripped everything back to basics, and I like that aspect. Whereas this, I was getting After Earth vibes. Not After. It is After Earth, isn't it? The Will Smith, M Night Shyamalan film with Jaden Smith.
Yeah, I think that's After Earth.
Yeah, I got After Earth vibes from the trailer, which is never a good thing. Actually, it's a very bad thing.
Hmm.
Just when it's not Dakota Fanning, is it? It's her sister.
It Elle Fanning, is it?
Yeah, Elle Fanning, because she says she's narrating over the
That's an
trailer that
unfortunate name.
um um yeah, she's narrating over the trailer that this planet, everything on this planet wants to kill you, and it just reminded me
Hmm.
of After Earth so much. But I
Is she the
like
one in the trailer that's given C-3PO on Cloud City in Empire Strikes Back
a little bit,
when
yeah.
he's on Chewie's back?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
great, and I think you're gonna get that version, and then by the look of the trailer, you're gonna get some sort of evil version as well. And it's always nice to see
Hmm.
in these films when two sideboard sort of go up against one another. But what I like about what I'm excited about this especially is that we've got Wayland bots in this, so I think 20th Century Fox are low key building up to a crossover event, but they're taking their time with it, and I think
Hmm.
they're laying the groundwork because there were hints to sort of it just to connect Predator with the alien mythos with Wayland is just a very smart thing to do. And
Do you
even
think
if
it would
we,
be another versus film, or do you think it would be more of a, I don't want to say team up because that wouldn't be the vibe,
I would
but
prefer them do a versus film, but them just do it right without
hmm.
sacrificing either character, which I feel like we got in Paul W.S. Anderson's Predator versus Alien.
Do you know how you make
I know
any
it was
versus
Alien
movie
versus
work?
it was Alien versus Predator, but yeah, go on.
It was, oh yeah, it's like it was alphabetical, wasn't it? What you do is you just film two endings and just cinemas get a random ending of one of them winning. Not
Well,
going to satisfy everyone,
there was a
but
rumored film. There was two rumored films actually. Michael Myers versus Hellraiser, well, Pinhead. And
yes,
this
they were going to
this
do that at one point.
and it was almost made, and the studio came up with the pretty much the same idea. They were going to film two different endings and just see how it plays. Um, and the script
Well,
for that, from what I,
you may have just discovered where I got that idea from because I did watch a video on the Halloween unmade sequels recently, which was fun. I
so did
also have a
I.
book about them. I
Okay, then
wonder
there's
who did the video that you watched? Is it probably the same one?
oh mine I think was Joe Blow.
Mine was Matt Draper.
Okay, but that's he's also very good. But some of these unmade Halloween sequels are trippy as hell. But
I would
it would
like to do an episode about them at some point
okay, all right.
because it's interesting. Just that whole franchise in general, I think, is an
Oh,
episode in and of
there
itself.
is so much to talk about.
All the timelines, stuff like that. But that is hopefully going to be a later episode.
Yeah. But Predator Badlands, I liked the look of the trailer. I'm excited
Hmm.
for it. It's a very CGI heavy. Do you think we're going to get a xenomorph in there? Do you think they'd be ballsy enough to just, since this planet has just got loads of aliens and cyborg threats,
I
do you
think
reckon?
if you're going to have a xenomorph, don't make it a big deal. Just have it be there. Maybe
Yeah,
in like
just show
just
up.
off to the side even, or just like in the background of a shot.
Hmm.
Don't have it be like a really slow shot revealing a xenomorph or a post credit scene. Don't draw attention to it. Have it be like an Easter egg.
I definitely think there'll be something at the end or mid credits, something suggesting a crossover event. And I do like the concept of this film. Let's drop the Predator somewhere where he for the first time, is not the predator, but in fact,
The
it just
protagonist.
the protagonist is out of his depth and he's got to prove himself. So yeah,
I'd love if
nice,
they just
nice
call it
little
that instead of the predator. Just the protagonist.
yeah. But I'm excited.
Okay. There's a few more bits of news I'd like to talk about. So we obviously just mentioned the Halloween franchise there briefly.
Mm-hmm.
What's another big horror franchise that's had quite a few films, but is less of a mess timeline wise than Halloween? That would be Saw. So Jason Blum of Blumhouse has confirmed that James Wan, the original maker of Saw, will be heavily involved in future Saw films.
Ah.
Now, Saw is a franchise that I love. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
great. There is some shit in the franchise, but overall, I just love seeing how it goes. I love that they've continued the same story, give or take one or two throughout. They've never
Mm-hmm.
done like a hard reboot, although maybe at some point they should. James Wan coming back is interesting because he directed the first one, and that was it. He was maybe involved with the writing in two and three
Yeah.
and produced them, but outside of that, he hasn't been involved in any of them. So, where do you stand on Saw and James Wan being heavily involved? Yeah,
I mean, it's nice that he's involved. I think whenever the person who kicked it off, gets involved, it kind of even if it's
that's
not a great
exactly what Jason Blum said.
yeah,
That was
even
his
if
reasoning: get the person who made the original great involved.
and even if it's not a great film, I think it's going to sound stupid, but knowing that the original creator was involved gives it a bit more legitimacy and I think a bit more excitement about it. Did the last one that came out? I forget because there's been so many. Was that one just called Jigsaw? It wasn't, was it? What was it?
So there
Saw
was
X? What?
Saw X was the last one, which was a prequel sequel, so it was set between two and three,
Yeah, that was a surprise hit,
or
wasn't
was
it?
it
That
set
was
between one and two? It did do quite well.
it was a surprise success, not just with audience but with critics. It was a return to
Yeah,
form for the
it was the
franchise,
first one that really sort of brought it back. They had planned on doing Saw 11,
and it
but
just
then
didn't. Why didn't?
the
Okay,
rights
because
have moved to so Blumhouse have the rights now.
okay. Well, I mean, if it's a good thing in a weird way that Blumhouse has the rights because they're a powerhouse now for modern horror. Not everything
Hmm.
hits, and they do release a lot of quick. You can just tell it was just made just to get made,
Yeah,
and it's not quality. There's quantity over quality at the minute with Blumhouse, but I
yeah,
did I
definitely.
did like Saw X, and that's why I was waiting for a sequel because it would
Hmm.
be coming out really this Halloween or maybe even Halloween just gone. So
Yeah,
I'm
it would
glad you
be.
explained that because I didn't know about the rights. It just fizzled out
Yeah,
to
it
me.
was. I think it was maybe cancelled even slightly before the rights
Okay.
moved, but it's one of those ones that I'd almost be glad if they didn't like reboot it just to see what they can do with this.
Oh
But if
yeah.
they were to do like hard reboot, new Saw franchise, move it to TV.
Oh
That's a
yeah, possibly.
prime franchise for TV because every film has like the police aspect,
Hmm.
serial police drama. Oof, involved in
Yeah,
Saw.
you could almost have like
Imagine that first film having them two in the bathroom if you were to remake it like that, but it's a TV show, so every episode then you can have all those flashbacks
yep.
within flashbacks, and it
Or
works. You can
you
tell
could
that story. You can flesh things out more than the films have allowed.
I agree. Or you could, if you wanted to do an original story but reboot it, it could
Hmm.
almost be like a trap a week with
Exactly.
with the investigation, like a monster of the week, but with
The
traps.
hardest thing for that, if they were ever to reboot that, the hardest thing for that franchise to do is recast John Kramer,
Yeah,
Jigsaw, who's played by Tobin Bell. They'd have to get someone who can encapsulate what Tobin Bell did, as well as try and find something new and original to bring to it.
yeah.
I don't
Because
know
I
who
mean,
that would be.
they slightly tried that with Jigsaw, didn't they? Which was a weird
Oh yes,
continuation
this
slash
whole
soft reboot slash.
Jigsaw. Let's reveal that there's another secret first apprentice.
Yeah, and then
My God.
the even the weirdest thing to come out of that franchise was Spiral, which was produced and spearheaded by Chris Rock, and it
Chris
was
Rock.
just
It's got Samuel L. Jackson.
it's just so
That
weird.
is so weird. Although it is from the Book of Saw, if I'm ever rewatching Saw, I'm probably gonna skip Spiral. I'll probably skip
Yeah,
Jigsaw as well.
it just felt like a Seven ripoff, even though it
Yeah,
was so I don't know, it was just weird, a very weird thing to have happened, a weird footnote.
but like I think there's a whole episode of that franchise alone to be just talk about that because
And the spooky season's arriving
it is,
soon.
you know.
We could do a whole episode talking like this, which is not scary, really.
Or we can do like a Saw. Don't know if that's any good.
That's pretty good.
I want to play a game.
That's not bad.
Andrew, you wasted 3 years of your life at Birmingham City University. Now you must pay the price. Student loan company.
Is that it?
I can't think of more right now. Sorry, guys. Just to add his counter into it.
Okay, yeah, very good.
Yeah. And I'll do a Saw weekly impression. That's
If
my
Blumhouse
promise.
is listening, that could be that. This is copyrighted. You can't just use these ideas. This is
Game over.
That's good.
And also, just one last thing about Saw. Fantastic theme tune. You know, whenever that theme Hello Zap kicks off. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, it is. It is. Even though
2 weeks in a row I bummed.
It's the only way they get away with the convoluted, end twist when they get super ridiculous is the fact that tune's playing over it. Because if that tune wasn't there, you might realize how fucking ridiculous it all gets.
Probably. Oh, I'll stick the Benny Hill tune over it.
Yeah.
But that's Saw. So apparently James Wan will be heavily involved in future Saw films. Good idea, I think.
Yes, me too.
So on from that, I do want to talk about next month on the 27th of November, the first few episodes of Stranger Things Season 5 will be released. This is the final season of Stranger Things. It was confirmed by the creators recently that all episodes will be between 90 to 120 minutes long. I know we complained about Peacemaker being too short, but fuck off, Duffer Brothers.
No, I disagree. I mean, we've only got 5 episodes, and I like the balls on the man to just go, well, I'm going to give you 5. I mean, it's essentially 5 feature films, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, but then you have your second part releasing, then you have your final episode, and also, do you remember how shit season 4 was? Well, not shit, and they were all just so long, and I was sitting there by the end of it going, why did they make these so long?
Yeah.
The Duffer Brothers are guys who want to do films, but I think they prefer TV, because they said the other week they love having long gaps between seasons. Like, they would continue to do that for future projects, and I think, fuck you, you don't understand the medium you're working with.
They're a weird creature, though, aren't they? Because they do TV on a film budget, and they've they've been given completely creative control. So I think they've just gone nuts with it. And Stranger Things was such a phenomenon. It's gone on a bit too long now.
It would have been a fantastic limited series.
Yeah,
they had it done one series, that was it, and then it came back, and it's a series of diminishing returns, in my opinion. I will watch this.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm excited for it, but it also, like, every season, for the most part, has given so much finality. So even, like, a facility and the void will be destroyed, and it's like, then there's a weird, convoluted way.
There's an even more super duper threat that's always existed there.
Yeah.
Who will slowly reach out a hand, and then 11 will hold out her hand, nose will bleed, and she'll be all like, intense stare from Millie Bobby Brown.
I mean, I will say this much. It's kind of, it looks like it's going to focus more on the original kid, kind of, who was taken. Is it Will? Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
Will Byers.
I mean, that'll be quite interesting, that it'll come sort of full circle, and he'll be more so, forefront of this series. At least it appears from the promotions and that.
You know what I think they should do? Just be really ballsy and have everyone dead. Kill
Yeah,
everyone by the end of the season. Have that little, what's it called? The little like underworld bit they go to.
we'll just call it that.
Well, the underworld thingy majiggy.
Yeah.
Just have that take over the real world and end it on such a downbeat, sour note. Just do that. Take a risk. Be ballsy.
I feel like that's what this will be about, though. I think that world blending into
I
our
mean,
one,
wasn't
or
season four? Didn't season four end with like there were cracks and
yeah,
stuff,
there were
and
there
they
were,
were
and there
all
was
looking out, going in one of the few shots where the whole cast was together because obviously it was made during COVID, series four, so
mm,
you
yeah,
can
there was,
tell.
and you could see the ash kind of falling. It looked
Yeah,
like snow. It's quite beautiful, actually. So they
yeah.
did end it. They did well. I will, despite what I've just said about finality, that series is the exception to the rule where it did kind of end with a very
Hmm.
obvious, "This isn't done just yet."
Yeah. So yeah, those episodes are long. Fair enough, okay, but you best make sure you're using every minute to advance things.
I agree,
And see if like we're getting some stupid side plot
because
about
there
like
is,
the fat kid without teeth doing
yeah.
his doing like a doing doing a sing song with his girlfriend again. See if we do that. See if we do that multiple times.
Uh, very good.
I don't remember their names.
No, well, I mean, you could have,
Gherkin or something, they're not.
you Gherkin, you could have explained him in a different way, but that's very good. He does have teeth. I just think he's got a lot of work going on. But yeah, I know what you mean. I don't need to see any more of 11 and
And I do just want to say I
whatever
like
is.
that kid.
Yeah, no, I like it. I don't want to see any more of 11 and her boyfriend's relationship. I don't want to see any more coming of age shit, really. I know we'll
Oh,
get
I
it,
don't
though.
want to see. I know we're going to get a lot of this in this season with Will pining after Eleven's fella. What's his name
Yeah,
again? We're
I
going to
don't
get him
bloody.
pining, looking away out of the window with that fucking bowl cut, going,
Yeah,
so tragic.
yeah. It's just whatever. I mean, again, I want it. I want it to end, and I hope it goes out. I hope it surprises me and exceeds expectations. But
They're
yeah, I
this
don't.
close, I think, with that Will character just turning around to the camera at one point and going, "Did you know in the '80s it was hard to be gay?"
Yeah, most probably. Uh, most, yeah. I don't want any more Goonie esque type shit. I think.
Yeah, because also the popularity of the '80s has decreased from when that first came out. Like,
Yeah, and the only reason
it,
people loved it was so much because it was a time capsule that we didn't
yeah,
have much content of up until that point. And now the year is, I mean, it's slightly changing now with the length of period it's been on.
that's
Also,
what, yeah.
everyone's
The
getting older, and
popularity's died down.
yeah, so
Actually,
uh,
interesting question. What age were you when the first Stranger Things came out?
mate, I can't even remember. I know I was in a very turbulent relationship. That's all I know.
I was in second year of secondary school.
Okay.
I hadn't even done GCSEs. Never mind A levels in the university.
I think my dog was alive, so
Rip to a legend.
rip to a legend. So Stranger Things.
So yes,
Extremely long episodes. I hope it sticks a landing. Probably a bit too long, though. I agree.
okay. There is a few last bits of news here. I'm gonna speed run them.
Okay.
So, uh, to cut this bit out, a Clue TV series is apparently in development. So Clue, the board game.
Not interested.
Okay,
Don't know how it can be a film.
go ahead. Ah, I know how it can be a film. It's a whodunit.
Well, yeah, but you call it Clue is just what for fucking brand recognition. It's stupid.
Yeah. Ocean's 14 is apparently moving forward, according to George Clooney. Fair enough.
Uh, yeah,
Not not a big fan.
no, won't make a lot of money. Next.
Yep. Dexter Resurrection has been renewed for season 2.
I've
I
heard
haven't
very
watched
good.
Dexter.
Never
I've
watched it.
heard
Heard
really
very
good things though.
yeah. Although the prequel series was also just cancelled, so a bit of a contradiction there. But
Yeah, they have big plans for like a whole big Dexter universe, and slowly it's been gutted down to this one show. Ba, 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 ba. Daredevil Born Again originally had an episode that focused on Punisher and Echo having a night together, but not like romantically or anything. So probably just them out killing folks.
I
Okay.
in my head it was just them out clubbing.
Yeah.
Echo, I know you can't hear this, but it's a good tune.
Echo, the permanent silent disco.
Yeah.
That would have been the episode name. Echo's permanent silent disco.
It's a bit of a mouthful, but why not? Why not?
Why not? Wicked for Good has the highest number of pre-sale tickets for opening day of 2025.
It will absolutely smash the box office,
Oh,
and
it's going to smash it.
It's going to be in multiple Oscar categories, I believe, as well. But I don't think it'll win unless they win visual effects or something. But which would annoy me for some reason.
Because visually the films are dull. I am probably more than likely gonna have to watch the first one and then go and see this maybe.
That's a shame.
I've heard good things.
Look, they're probably good. It's just it's not in my. I don't like musicals really for the most part. So I'd rather. I think I'd rather if I was gonna watch this first, I would see the stage play, and then I would watch the films. I think I don't know why, but I would like to see it on the West End.
The final bit of news. Now this is quite sad, so get ready. Ernie, the giant chicken, has been confirmed as dead in Family Guy.
I wish you'd have forewarned me something like this was coming, because
I just did.
I know, but I mean, last week you should have said I'm gonna drop a bomb, just to prepare me for that.
But this was only confirmed this week.
Well, I can't remember the last fight, but because you always think he's pegged it.
How do you think he died?
He was thrown into a deep fat fryer.
Meg Griffin cut his head off and killed him. There was a whole episode apparently where she was dating his son.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember. But
yeah, I remember seeing the clip, but I didn't think that would be because nobody ever stays dead unless you're like that.
So they've just made them
apparently, according to executive producer Ernie, the giant chicken is dead. R.I.P. to a goat.
Yeah, that's a shame. At least we've got all of the previous fights to go back and
they were always quite fun to watch.
Yeah, I just loved how it escalated.
I always enjoy it. There's one episode where Brian and Stu mess up their time machine, and everything starts going backwards. So you get to see one of the fights happen in reverse.
So that's smart.
Oh. Yeah, one of the few times they're smart with what they're doing.
Yeah,
but yeah, Ernie dead.
R.I.P.
And the final thing, this isn't film or TV related, but maybe one day it could be. They're doing a Superman and Spider-Man crossover next year in 2026 in the comics. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, it does. I mean, they seem like an inconsistent team.
They did one. They've done a after like decades. They did a Marvel and DC crossover this year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read it. I haven't read their original crossover that they had in like the 90s. Do have an omnibus of it, but I haven't read it. But yeah, Superman, Spider-Man, the big hitters from those universes. Yep.
Not very equally matched in terms of their superpowers, are they? So there'll have to be some written contrivance there to kind of...
I don't think they're going to be fighting.
No, I don't think they'll fight, but I mean...
that era.
I think they'll be together, but what I'm saying is there's going to need to be some sort of reason Superman would need Spider-Man's help, or am I just overthinking? Maybe I'm not a comic guy. I've never really written. I've never written a comic. I've never really read a comic.
I mean, with that argument, Batman and Superman would never team up.
That's very true. You've immediately just shot holes in any counter argument I could have made on that subject. Yeah. Save Martha.
Yeah, so that's happening. So that's the news for this week. There is more news, but that's the news that I thought we would both sort of have something to say about.
Well, we've had a lot to say about a lot, so I think
we have.
Well done, news. Well done, Nathaniel. You picked some good news this week. I've enjoyed talking about it.
Thank you. So that is the news for the week. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look at some recommendations. Andrew, do you have anything that you'd like to recommend?
Do I have anything that I'd like to recommend? Well, given that you haven't watched it yet, I would like to recommend that you give at least the first episode of Monster, the Ed Gein story a watch. Is it something you'd
I
be
will.
interested in? Something you've been
It
gravitated
is.
towards?
I will give it a look before my Netflix subscription ends.
Yeah, I think you should. It's well worth the price of your subscription, at least, to say the very least.
Hmm.
And what have you got for me?
So this is something that I didn't talk about in what I've been watching, but I
Mm-hmm.
watched a film. It's on Disney Plus at the moment called Swiped. It's about the co-creator of Tinder, who then went on to make Bumble. Good.
I've seen it.
It's you've seen it.
Yeah, Lily
So
James.
I don't think it's amazing or anything, but it's definitely something that I was like, you know what? I it was a fun watch. It was interesting to see all this, and I love how at the end they were like, this woman did not break her NDA. She wasn't involved.
Yeah, I thought it was very good, and I was when I was watching it, I was kind of thinking about the fact she was in on NDA.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken a bit of a license with the story. I think, like, the
Oh, they
speech at the
always
end.
will.
The speech at the end didn't happen, but I think it's good. I like the woman, and I've done a lot of research about her after the fact. Um,
Yeah, likewise.
it's a good story.
Um, I am sorry, to tell the woman got rid of your Tinder and your Bumble, but I might get them. Who knows?
That's okay.
Um,
She doesn't need you as a subscriber. I think she's doing just okay.
man, she's making mad money off the prices they pay for like premium subscriptions and stuff.
Yeah, but I
But
think
that's
it's
a
a good
whole other
film. Yeah,
topic.
I also really like
Um,
Lily James.
so do I. It was one of those films where as I was watching it, I was going, "Man, are bastards,
Yeah,
aren't we? We're just awful."
yeah, we
um,
we are.
yeah.
We are.
So that's Swiped, currently streaming on Disney Plus in the UK. And I also watched another. This is a very sort of easygoing film. It's called Gifted, starring Chris Evans. He's the nephew of a girl who's really good at maths, and he's raising her because her ma killed herself.
Did you mean he's the uncle?
He is the uncle.
Yeah,
Yes, so did I say. Did
I
I say
thought so.
nephew?
You said nephew. Yeah.
Oh, that would be way more interesting.
I don't. I don't know if it would be. But
Oh
carry on.
man, I've just made a better film. But yeah, that was I stuck that on the other night. It's a fun watch. You'll have definitely seen clips of it from where she's in the classroom. The teacher's getting her to like do sums. She's getting them really easy, so she asks for some multiplication. She gets it no problem. Um, Chris Evans, good actor. Like him in anything I say, man.
He is, and he should be given more dramatic roles. I think.
He should be, but he probably has enough money where he's probably not too worried about the sort of roles he's getting.
Yeah, and he doesn't strike me as a guy who needs. He doesn't strike me as a Dwayne the Rock Johnson who
He's
needs.
not after validation.
No, I don't think so.
Well, would you? I mean, if you look like him, would you be after validation from others?
I do look like him, so I can say I don't
Yeah,
need
yeah, no, yeah,
validation.
of course you do. Once we remove those rules, yeah, you probably look exactly like them.
Oh, just pure lies.
But yeah, those are my two recommendations this week. And you know what? There's something that you mentioned last week, very briefly. But if you want something that is trash TV but is kind of entertaining, stick on Married at First Sight.
Yeah, and if you are listening from the US, I know you have your own, but I can say with my chest that the goats are UK and Australia, and I would put Married at First Sight Australia above the UK one, Nathaniel. So if you are enjoying
Okay.
Maths UK, look out for Married at First Sight Australia. That comes out in the summer though, but it is way better, mate. Honestly, so good.
I will give that a look because I have many thoughts about this UK one.
Yeah, good.
Mm, people are bastards.
They
People are
are.
nice.
That's the quote. That's the quote from this episode. People are bastards. People are nice. And if you don't believe me, I'll say it twice.
What's that quote from Peep Show? You can't trust people. People voted for the Nazis and like Coldplay.
Yeah, that's even better. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to recommend, Andrew, before we close off this episode?
Do you know, I would love to have something to recommend. I tell you what, I will recommend. I don't know why it's just come into my brain, but I think it's a sort of a callback to you not liking Andrew Garfield. But before he blew up, I know he was in
I
Doug
got
2,
flack
among
for
other
that.
things. Yeah. good. But before he blew up, he was in a film called Boy A, which I think it came to BBC iPlayer. But he basically
Boy,
plays Boy A. He basically plays a kid. Well, he plays a man, but as a kid, he committed a crime and he killed someone. So he comes out of prison as an adult. You're not my mother! Yeah, that's Cat. Is it? No, it's not. Yes, I am! Whatever. You'll know if you know. EastEnders. But he plays a kid. He comes out of prison as an adult after completing his sentence. And of course, he's given a new identity, a new name, and he's given somewhere to live. And he basically wants to just live a normal life and try and move past it. Anyway, a picture of him starts circulating and people start to realise who he actually is, and his life begins falling apart, and it is very, very good. And that was what put Andrew Garfield on the map for me for sort of acting range and stuff. And it's weird how much you feel for this man who committed an awful crime, and you kind of want him to be given a second chance. And it's a lot of questions of morality, and not morality, but I don't know, should we be giving people a second chance, and should someone be sort of
no.
wrung over the coals for their entire life for something they did as a child? Okay, well, conflicting answers from Nathaniel there, but Boy A will be available somewhere. I don't know where it will be available. I watched it a long time ago, but a very early Andrew Garfield piece that is quite difficult to watch, but also asks a lot of interesting questions. That's my recommendation.
That's nice. So with that, you know all about the news this week. You know what we've been watching, and you have some recommendations. So with that, we'll draw this episode to a close. Thank you for listening to episode 5 of what we've been watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Any positive feedback is appreciated. Leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz, on whatever platform you're currently listening to this on. And we'll be back next week with another episode.
Next week as well, we might be having a guest on the show. We might try something. Possibly, possibly not. You'll know if you hear his voice.
Yeah, but we might do that as a separate episode.
Yeah.
It's like a bonus. But we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. We are penciling things in.
Yeah. I've been Andrew. And he's been
Nathaniel.
Yeah. And thank you for watching what we've been watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.